Spherote link, if it's okay to share that. Forgot. So the body map, yeah. So that link is showing the upper triangles and the lower triangles. And last week we worked with Hod. And so Yesod is at the center of Netzach and Hod. And it is the balance point at the center. And what I would love to show you is the pelvis and the pelvic bowl, and share that I am offering today a female body view of Yesod. And in the Sefer Yetzirah, Tiferet is the whole torso, and Yesod is actually below at the sexual organs, but I like to teach Yesod as the belly and all of the organs in the pelvic bowl and all that's going on in the connection of upper world and lower world. So yeah, props for today are a chair. We'll need a chair and 2 blankets and a strap and 2 blocks. So Jet, would it be okay to show the pelvis for a moment? I just want to get a visual for you. Thank you. So it's really not a bowl. If you look at this, we call it the pelvic bowl, but I would love to point out, I know many of you study, teach anatomy, know all of this. I just think it's really important to share the openings in the pelvis, and that center bone is the sacrum. It's the lowest part of the spine, and the vertebrae are fused. And the final little point is the tailbone or the coccyx. And then the main bone, the whole entire rest, is the ilium, and our sits bones are at the bottom of those wings. And today, I would love for us to focus on creating more space inside the pelvic bowl. And I'll talk more in the practice. Thank you, Jet. And then I just want to show one more picture. Yeah, rechem, womb, rachamim, compassion, connecting those. One more picture of the muscles. And I specifically want to point out the psoas. So this is from my teacher, Jason Crandall, who I've talked about. I've been taking online anatomy with. I've talked about him a lot. A great teacher of anatomy. And here are the lower parts of the spine, the lumbar. Here again is the sacrum and the psoas. So the psoas attaches at the back of the spine and all the way goes down to this point here on the thigh, which is called the lesser trochanter. And I reference this sometimes in class, but this muscle connects the upper body and the lower body. And the pelvis is the point of connection of upper body and lower body, and where weight is distributed and transferred down into the legs. So very, very important part of our body. Thank you, Jet. I just wanted to give you those visuals so you can see all that's going on in there. And we'll focus on widening at the back of the pelvis and narrowing at the front for some twists today. So let's go to the floor. Let's just go straight into the practice. And we'll start with opening our hips and opening a blanket. I'm just gonna, there we go. So we'll take, as we often do, a blanket that's open twice and lie it at the end of a mat. Have your strap nearby. I'm not sure if we'll use it. And before we begin, I just want to reiterate, as always, that you are the authority for your practice. And if anything I offer is not right for you, please do not do it. Also bring your chair to have nearby. And we'll take some hip openers and focus on opening and warming the lower body in the beginning and connecting that to the upper body, and then we'll come up to some standing postures. So take your body to the floor, hands behind the neck that the occiput, and lengthen the back of the neck down. Bend feet are hips distance apart. And let's take hands to the lower belly today, the lowest part of the belly, and you might even feel where your hip points are, those 2 points at the front of the ilium bone. And with hands at the lower belly, we'll take a very gentle pelvic tilt. As we breathe, this is a natural movement the body makes. When we inhale, there's a lengthening, extension of the spine, a tilting down of the sits bones, and when we exhale, a folding, a very subtle folding. And just take a moment with no action in your body at all, and you're receiving the breath, nishmat chaim, the breath of life. Let the belly fill as the diaphragm descends. And just placing your attention on the low belly, the spaces between the hip points. And from here, let's go ahead and lift the heels and place them down again. And then lift hips, take a very baby bridge, hands down by the hips, send knees away from crown of head. Find a little extra length between lower ribs and pelvic rim. Knees aligned over second and third toe. Shoulders move down away from neck. Drawing the core of your body, the center line, inward. And then sending the bottom down again. Feel that extra length. And let's draw knees in and over to left for a lying twist. Arms in a T, open at shoulders, palms facing up. And today in this shape, if you'd like, you can take the right arm up in a V. So you really feel an extra line of connection, connecting energy. Yesod is channel. All of the upper sphirot channel down through pelvis to malchut at the feet. And notice and feel the channels of opening just from side waist, through side chest, through armpit, channels of the limbs. "248 limbs, positive mitzvot," the gematria for Abraham's name. We are channels for divinity, the whole body. And then bringing top leg up and over. Left leg follows, just take second side, lying twist. So knees rest over knees, opening, letting shoulder fall to the floor if that's possible. Find the shape that is best for your body today, taking care of your own body's needs. You can do the twist sitting or lying, any way that's right for you. And begin to note and inquire into the inside of the lowest part of the belly, the pelvis, and the wide expanse at the back, and the narrowing at the front of the hip points. How do you experience Yesod in your body for this practice today? We'll bring knees back to center, take feet to floor again, keeping left leg bent and left foot on floor. Let's bring right knee into the chest, holding it behind the thigh, and noting here the folding shape of the right side of the body. We'll circle that thigh in the hip joint. So the pelvis and torso are in one plane, and the femur bone is circling in the hip joint, that beautiful opening construction of the pelvic bowl, allowing for this movement. Really unbelievable, the construction of the body. And circling that thigh bone, and then bring foot to floor, second side, right foot on floor, right knee bent. Bring left thigh close into the chest first, really folding the left side. There's some asymmetry here with the sacrum. The right side of the sacrum is extending, the left side is folding in, and then circling that thigh, keeping the right knee steady, the right foot steady. Yesod is foundation, and feeling your whole back body and right foot as the foundation for this posture, this shape, always connecting to the floor. And then let's bring that foot back down and go ahead, take the right leg up, left knee is bent, foot on floor. We'll do what we often do, circling in the ankle joint as always, opening the flow, chesed in the body, noting the structures of the body, bend and straighten the right knee, gevurah. There is one plane in which the knee is meant to move, folding and extending. And then here, let's bring, for the next movement, the knee close into the chest and then send the leg straight out. So almost like a kicking, but a slow motion kicking. So you're lengthening and extending the leg at knee height, the second leg's height of the knee. Just in and out. Hands can be by the hips if that's better for you. And then place foot down, take second side, raise the left foot up, circle the ankle joint. And note the hip points are evenly facing the sky, rakeya, the expanse of the sky reflected in the front belly. And then bend and straighten that left knee. Just waking up the joints, waking up the fluidity in the joints, warming the body. And then bring that left knee close in and send the leg out. The leg is at 40, not even 30 degrees, like knee height of the right leg. So you're really just waking up that action. And then place foot on floor. Let's take right leg up again to the sky, externally rotate and cross the leg for a traditional hip opener, figure 4. First, keeping hip points evenly facing sky and keeping sacrum evenly weighted. Take side waists long and feel symmetry on both sides of the body. And from here, we'll hinge the legs. Take hands at your hip points, your fingertips at your hip points, and hinge the whole shape of the legs toward you. If staying on the floor with your left foot is better, please stay and feel the hip opener in that way. If it's okay, bring your legs toward you. The right foot is active but not gripping. And slowly and gently take both knees a little bit side to side, so the weight of the sacrum changes a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, carefully, and then find the center where the space between the legs aligns with the heart, tiferet, the crown, keter. If it's best, take a strap behind your thigh, the left thigh, or your hands at sides of thigh to draw the legs a little closer. Reestablish length at back of neck. And then release this shape away from you and take the entire shape over to the left for a twist. So the shape stays the same. Left leg rests on floor, right foot comes to floor. Once more, opening in a twist. And then release the top leg, bring both legs in. Take hands down by hips, send the hips up again, a little baby bridge, really waking up the lower body, connecting it to the upper body, and then sending hips down again. Let's take the left leg up, right knee is bent, right foot on floor, externally rotate that top leg, and bend the leg at 90 degrees. Ankle extends beyond the thigh a little for figure 4. And keep that shape really wide open hip points. Stay here. If this is enough of an opening for you, a stretch or a receiving of points of illumination, Nikudat Hitora root, these new openings, new awakenings that come every day. If you desire a little more opening in the hips, let's take a strap behind the thigh or hands to the sides of the right thigh and hinge the whole shape, the legs turn toward you. And just note here, the pelvis is stable, steady, connected to the torso. The legs are turning. Noting what it takes, drawing a little bit of strength from the center of your being. And once more, shift weight right and left a little bit, feeling into sensation of contact with the pelvic bowl at the back, the sacrum, the ilium, really noting like a little baby massage. And then drawing legs a little closer in if that's right for you. Really taking the shape that's most suited to what you need this morning, this day. And then this shape stays the same. We'll take the legs all the way over to the right. A very, very open twist, only if right for you. If this shape is too much, you can release the top leg and take lying twist again with knee over knee. But if it's okay to keep that leg open, finding this beautiful channel from outer hip through side waist to inner armpit, elbows, fingers, opening the second arm as well, feeling the whole body as an open channel. The limbs are nikavim, nikavim, chalulim, chalulim, and the channels in the pelvic bowl allow for us to live and stand and walk and eliminate waste and create new life. So much happening in the pelvic bowl. And then let's release that, come back to center. One more, turn all the way to your left, lying on your side, knee over knee. Arm can be bent under the head. If you need an extra blanket for support, please take one. And we'll just open and close the top knee to the bottom knee, a clamshell. Just open and close, noting that you're keeping the wide open pelvic bowl at the back. And then from here, extend the top leg, keeping left leg bent on the floor, top leg extends long, top arm overhead, take hold of the wrist and lengthen the whole right side of the body. We're lying on the left knee's bent. And feeling the connection of upper body through to lower body. Let's raise and lower that top leg a little bit, a couple times. And then one more idea, take that top leg, bend the knee, foot comes behind, take strap around foot or hand to foot. It's okay to come up and hold the head so we're on our elbow. And just find a little opening of the quadriceps. And release and swing to the second side. We're going to lie on the right side. Arm is supporting head, either with bent elbow or straight arm. And the top arm, the hand can be in front of your chest for balance. We'll just open and close the legs and take note of all that needs to happen for this little movement. Just knees bent, opening and closing, waking up the outer thighs, the inner thighs, and then with the bottom leg bent, extend top leg over, top arm over, take hold of the wrist from the bottom arm. So you're lengthening. You can play with flexing and pointing the foot. And then from here, lifting on up to your elbow, supporting your head, and taking the top knee, bend it, and drawing it back just a little bit, noting the connections between upper body, lower body. At the very lowest part of the belly, the knee is straight. The construction of the pelvic bowl allowing a slight internal rotation. And then we'll release that. Come on up. Okay, folding the blanket in half. We'll take a cat-cow into downward facing dog. If coming into downward facing dog on a chair or at a right angle is better for you, that's where we're going. You can also do the cat-cow sitting. We'll take hands under shoulders, index fingers aligned, feet as wide as hips, and let's send the hips back and forward a moment and note the gorgeous way that our body is shaped, that we can take all fours and then come on up and come to neutral and inhale, lift head and tail. Exhale, round the spine. And in your own timing with breath initiating the movement, finding your cat-cow, the inhale and the exhale, extending and folding the spine, connecting Keter through Tiferet, through to Yesod. The center line. And let's come on up from here to a down dog. Bring feet a little closer together for a moment. Soften behind the knees. Send the weight back to the legs and then walk the feet a little bit wider again. And slowly straighten the legs. Opening into the back body. Lifting up out of the shoulders. Feeling that shape of the hinging of the pelvic bowl and torso over the legs. And then walk feet to hands. We'll hang in a little moment for a forward fold. Knees are bent and releasing the top body. The top body is chesed, flowing. The feet and legs are your strength, gevurah. And Yesod is the fulcrum, the pelvic bowl. Let's inhale, raise the arms through chair pose all the way up to standing. And release the arms, stand in mountain pose. Can remove the blanket. Let's stand for a minute. Swaying weight. Let's bend the knees and sway a little bit forward and back. Circling. Let's take feet a little wider. Circling hips. One way and another. Just noting the transference of upper worlds through Yesod into the lower worlds. Arya Kaplan, in his book Inner Space, talks about Yesod as foundation and relationship to earth, connecting to earth being essential as we walk, as we live. Let's go ahead and take blocks or a chair behind you. Actually, we're going to take 2 blocks at the front of the mat and a chair in front of the blocks. So we have options. So the blocks are in front of the chair seat is facing you. And we'll take right leg forward, left leg back, and we'll take a little sequence here with prayer pose and revolve triangle. And feeling the connection between those two poses. So we'll come with right leg forward, left leg is hips distance apart, back leg turned out. And take a moment, notice where your pelvis is tilted. Notice the inner strength of the back leg, the line of energy from inner ankle up through inner knee to inner thigh, hands at hip points, front knee is aligned over second toe and soften behind the front knee, bringing Tiferet into the foundation. Rachamim, soften behind the front knee, that connection of upper body to lower body, and hinge forward. Hands can come to blocks or chair. Your choice. If you have a chair, bring it closer to you so hands are closer to shoulders. Always receiving the breath. Inhaling the new shape. Releasing what's not needed. Once more, establish feet very solidly into the earth, and let's walk the back foot in a little bit, lifting up out of the posture, turning toward the front leg for a very baby revolve triangle. If you've already practiced today or you regularly do this, you can take hand down lower to the block. Just walk it in closer to the leg today for a very open channel from the sternum down through, mirroring the sacrum in one facing. Hand is on hip at first. And then if you'd like, take the arm up, really noting here a yikavu, a gathering in of the inner thighs and the inner hip points, and a widening at the back of the pelvic bowl, of the beautiful pelvic rim, space between lower ribs and that rim. And then releasing down. Let's take both hands on chair or both hands to floor for down dog or right angle. Your choice. Soften behind the knees today, really giving extra length to the spine and an extra folding over shape. And then let's walk second leg forward. We'll take the second side. So left leg is forward, right leg is back leg turned out. Taking feet hips distance apart today, wide open stance. Take your hands to the back of the lower back with fingertips facing down, and take a moment to see if you can just palpate a moment and feel the shape of your body and where the pelvic rim is, the ilium, that bone, where the sacrum might be. For some of us, it's very deep in the body. For some of us, we can feel the ridge where it connects, where the two bones connect. And then from here, let's take hands back to front, back to hip points, and hinge the shape up and over, soften behind the front knee. Find that long channel line of energy, your center. Feel yourself very evenly weighted and balanced. That is the whole idea of this time, balancing right and left side, balancing and finding center. And let the shape come to the height that is best for you today. So maybe it's the blocks, maybe hands come to floor. You can keep that spine long and extended, or you can release the spine and let it round. Your choice. Always feeling that foundation of the pelvis as steady and supporting you. Then let's walk the right hand in closer. Take block in closer to your foot. Perhaps reestablish the foundation of your feet in a way that gives you the most opening and the most turning, and we'll lift on up and turn toward the front leg for a revolved triangle. And this is at a height that's best for you, hand on chair or hand on block or hand on floor, but noting if you can, drawing the front belly in toward you. There's a kirva, a closeness, a drawing toward yourself in this posture with the hip points coming together, the lowest part of the belly, the turn comes from there, the spine is in one open channel from sacrum up through to crown. And release on down. Take hands to chair or hands to floor for downward facing dog. And then walk feet to hands, hinge or roll on up, and we'll keep the chair where it is, keep the blocks standing up close to the chair again. Turn to face the front of your mat long ways. Externally rotate the right leg, internally rotate the left. Inhale, raise arms. We'll take triangle into a couple other little shapes. So triangle pose from here, turning, noting, turn the hip points toward your right. So we're not facing the hip points square forward. This is different than sometimes this pose is taught. So turning the hip points and hinging the whole shape up and over. Hand comes to block or chair, and noting with this turning of the pelvic bowl, the twist then coming up to the sky from the heart. It's truly a twist, this shape. And take note of the wide expanse. We're bringing some mana from last month's teachings into the back body here. So you really feel nothing tweaking in the sacroiliac joint. You're really opening the back body, and the turn and the twist is coming all the way from the pelvis. And then from here, we'll swing top arm over for a moment, inside angle. Bending the right knee, top arm overhead. Take the hands down now to the blocks or the chair. Turn the back leg, so hip points face the chair. Front knee is bent, and once more we'll take a little twist. So hand comes to block, hand comes to chair. Back heel is lifted. Lift the back heel so you can really feel the flying sensation. Reestablish your feet, your foundation in any way you need, and find your steadiness in your pelvis. Find the steadiness at the lowest part of the body as you turn toward that bent knee. Hand to block if you want, hand to chair. Now bring top arm over by the head. So there's one long open channel from back inner leg through spine to top arm. And then release that top arm down. Let's take prayer pose once more with folding over the front leg. Both legs straight, hips distance apart, hands to blocks or hands to chair. Soften behind the front knee. This might feel comfortable and familiar, coming to it again. And then walk back leg forward, take second side. So right leg's forward, the foot is really under the chair, aligned with the front legs, left leg back. Oh, wait, no, sorry. First we did triangles. Sorry. You can switch the facing of the chair on your mat if you want. Okay, triangles. So first we externally rotate front leg, back leg turned in, raise the arms, turn hips. Hip points are at a 45-degree angle, not facing forward. And then hinge the shape up and over, hand to chair or hand to block, really noting the space at the back body, at the lower back body. And it's a twist of the heart reaching up to the heavens. And then top arm comes over for side angle. Just finding the shape for a moment. Knee is bent, top arm over. Hand to block or chair, your choice. And then keeping front knee bent, we'll turn to face the chair or the blocks. And take right knee bent, left leg is long and strong in back. Lift the back heel and take left hand to chair or block and turn. So it's a little twist, side angle twist. Lifting and turning up out of the belly, drawing hip points together at the front, widening at the back. And then releasing top arm, straighten both legs, find the shape of prayer, of folding inward toward yourself, Panimiyut. Hands to blocks, hands to floor, hands to chair, whichever is best for you, drawing and turning pelvis and torso over the front leg. You can even rest your head on the chair if you'd like. And then we'll inhale and lift on up. Take your blocks aside and come to sit on the floor for a moment with a blanket folded twice or two blankets. And we'll just sit on the very front of the blanket with the folded edge. Knees are bent, feet in front of you, and let's swing both feet to your right. So we'll take a little twist. The top leg rests nestled in the bottom foot. Inhale, raise arms. Exhale, turn away from feet. Receiving the twist, receiving the shape, noting the folding of the legs, the lengthening of the spine. With an inquiry of Yesod, how is the pelvic bowl, that area, my foundation? And then let's just lean onto your hands to swing legs around. Come to second side. First, bring both feet forward, knees bent. Swing both feet around. If this doesn't work for your knees, please take a twist that's best for you. You can sit on a chair and twist very easily with knees parallel. If this works for you, inhale, raise arms. Exhale, turn away from feet. Let that top leg release as far away as you need. Yesod, Yud, Sod. Yud connotes divinity. Sod is secret. So receiving the secret of divinity in the body. as we receive the breath, neshima, soul, neshama. And we'll release that twist and come on down for a resting shape. You can open your blanket, take a second blanket under your head or rolled under your knees if you like. Can also take your legs up on the chair. By bringing hips very close to the chair and then swinging calves up, your choice. If you take legs to chair, you can place the blanket, the edge of the blanket, just at the pelvic rim so you get a little extra support at the low back. And we'll rest here together for a couple moments, for a few minutes. Receiving front body to back body. Receiving the support of the earth beneath you, the ground beneath you, always here. And taking a deep, long breath, receiving Nishmat Chayim, the breath of life, all the way into your lower belly, into your pelvic bowl. And let's roll on over to our side. You can take a few more twists and extend the practice after if you'd like. We're gonna come on up to sitting. If you need to stay resting where you are, and let's come to sitting and really take a moment feeling into the shape of sitting. In your mind's eye, noting the sits bones supporting you, those wings of support at the back of the pelvis, the spine lifting and lengthening up at the front with ease, lengthening back of neck. And we'll close our practice with the phrase from Bereshit that we are all created in the image of divinity, B'Tselem Elokim. And thank you for joining the practice today. B'Tselem Elokim.